you guys hear me? Yeah? Okay, I actually do poetry, for those of you who don't know. I'm going to do two pieces. This first one, I think, will apply to just about everybody here. And then I'll tell you about the second one. I was reading Ezekiel the other day, and I came across a story where God tells him to speak to the dead and dry bones. So this is loosely based off of that. And it's called Dead Man's Masquerade. I made a mask yesterday, built of fear and paper mache. I put it on, stuck it tight, had to make it fit all right, so that not even I could see the dead and dry inside of me. It felt a little heavy and a little hot as well, and breathing was a challenge, but not a soul could tell. In mirrors I was lovely, in light I was a sight, in dark I was a no one, but to me that was alright. Months and days and years behind me left the mask imprinting my skin. I only once tried taking it off. It tore and burned, so never again. I'll keep it forever. Its heat, its weight, its hurt. I need it like I said. I need it to be safe, or they'll see that I'm dry and dead. I broke a mask yesterday. I buried the fear and the paper mache, because he knew what lay beneath, and promised me water from head to feet, and nothing could sear it or dry it or soak it. And oh, how I smiled the moment that he spoke it. And through the mask he knew I smiled, and told me that it's been oh such a while since he saw that expression through the masquerade, and gave me his water to ease the mask's pain. For when he removed it, I was left so exposed. I cried and it ached, but I wasn't alone. I felt pouring water fall onto my face, fall into my eyes, fall onto my lips, fall down my hair. Crimson filled the imprinted mask, erasing the pain, and so I asked how it was that he had seen me. I thought the mask had hidden me. He smiled so beautifully and said, "Don't be ashamed. Your mask fooled the world, but it can never fool me. I see every mask as it's fashioned upon every beautiful face, because people fear so much that they think they can't face. And in a small way, they're right. You can't face a thing when you're dead." The mask he placed in my hands, and he placed his hand on mine. And together we severed the chains that I had made. That made me feel safe when I was really a slave. And I was free to breathe in the sky, to let loose the tears they'd imprisoned when I'd cry, to be wrapped in the stars as in the night they lie, to feel his breathing as the moon lifts high, because no longer would I be dead and dry. I broke a mask yesterday. I buried the fear in paper mache, because I want the world to see that there is no dry and dead inside of me. This next one is not so conventional. I'm sure most of you know the story of David. He had a heart, after God. And I was kind of thinking, when you read the Bible, especially being in our age group and for younger and teenagers, sometimes it's hard to get into it. You know what I mean? And it's just kind of like you read it, and it's cool to know all the stories, but it's real hard to get into it. And so I was kind of wondering, what would David's story of what happened between him and Bathsheba be told like if it was told now in our generation? So I basically tried to do in this next piece, take his voice as if King David did what he did in today's world. So this is called Confessions. So I'm sitting on top of my pad, overlooking my toys in the driveway. I'm bad. I've got my Benzo, my Audi, my Land Rover, and my H2 Hummer. And even though it's spring, the sun is blazing like it's summer. And I've got nothing better to do than to hit the roof and sunbathe, because I'm a player who's got it made. Big time baller, brother man getting paid. Got my own thing as I'm the CEO and the Don, but you can call me king. I sent my boys off on tour first, with the axe, Glock, and blade to sling. So as I sip on my raspberry lemonade, and as I sit in the midst of desert Everglades, with my eyes behind shades, now somewhere beneath my gaze, I see the form of a babe. And this is not Moses floating down the Nile in a boat mud made. I'm talking about a woman, a sister, a honey. And she's standing in a hot tub pool, shaking all those things that can make her money. And I'm not hating the fact that this day is sunny, because I can see every curve on this wannabe Playboy bunny. Man, I can't take it. Does she even know that she's naked? Probably thinks that no one can see her. And I wouldn't hate to break it, that is, the news, that she's not hidden from these views. And I've got my eyes on her like clouds stuck on blue skies. And as I keep staring, I've got to possess this temptress. Yo, secretary, can you give me the address of this mistress? What? She's married? And her husband works for me? But he's out of town on assignment, earning me some cheddar. All the better for this clandestine get-together. Let's spare no expense. Go get that girl. Pick her up in the limo so I can give her a demo and a taste of what it means to be in my place. To have this face, she'll want to take a memo. Because she won't be able to erase the thought of me. Because I'm a real G, sometimes known as the notorious D-A-V-I-D. I found that even when you've got enough, you always want more. Why stop at 3 when you can get another 4? So my so-called need turned into greed and then outright obsession. I can't keep this covered up anymore, so give ear to my confession. When baby girl got to the house, she was drop it like it's hot and a bag of chips fine. She was hot off the nines. No need for me to drop lines, because she already knew that it was time. Who's going to deny me when I'm so close to divine? So as we sipped on a glass of wine, I was feeling claustrophobic, so I had to recline. And I gave her the sign. She knew that she was mine. Broke her off like a book with no spine. Too bad it wasn't February, but she was still my Valentine. When it was over, I sent her home in the limo, and I nicknamed her Georgia because I kept her always on my mind. But then she dropped a dime that caught me on the side of the blind. 28 days since we last intertwined. She's pregnant, and the child is mine. So that's that. And I just want everybody to remember that, despite David's mistake, God forgave him. And it doesn't matter what you do, how bad it is, what you think, how ashamed you might be to come to God. God will forgive you for anything. Okay? Thank you.